I want to be loved from as many people as possible. But truth is, I'm not really a good person.
Pearl. Pearl is a 2022 American slasher film directed by T. West and co-written by West and Mia Goth. Okay, so I don't know what's with that name, T. West. I guess it's kind of cool, but it has to be short for something, hands down. But but yeah, co-production of A24 and Little Lamp Productions. It is a prequel to X, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even notice it was a prequel at all. My buddy Jesse told me about it, and he ended up looking it up right after we finished watching the movie, which blew my mind right after. And there you go, George. I shouted Jesse out. Now you can stop bothering me about it. Trapped on her family's isolated farm, Pearl must tend to her ailing father under a bitter and overbearing watch of her devoted, very very bitchy mother. She does kind of like she plays a great fucking role. I'm not gonna lie. What was her name? Tanda Wright, I think. Yeah, Tanda Wright. She was awesome. I ended up looking her up. I never really seen any of her stuff, but great woman. She did a wonderful performance in Pearl. It was pretty gnarly. It was cool, but she kind of played a very very strict mother, and a lot of people were just like, oh my god, the mom was like a fucking bitch throughout the whole thing. But yeah, she did pretty well. I thought she did pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but once again, go see this shit. This shit's cool. As a slasher film, Pearl is like 1900s of like cartoons and stuff. How they're just like, oh yeah, like that's all, folks, or the end, and like, oh, in love, or some bullshit, and they kind of write the words in front of like the cartoon or the show that you're watching on TV. And it was during back then, so watching Pearl kind of gives you that vibe. You start to hear all this beautiful music. You hear like the birds singing and chirping and all that stuff, and like you see how she's dancing around, and she starts to feel herself and just have a beautiful sensation of just like having wonderful thoughts of being in front of millions of people on the stage and people wanting to love her and meet her and so forth. A lot of things goes on to this film, and I would say a lot of you can really suspect that. Now, with Pearl, people just want to see just murder, 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 and that's about it. But this movie doesn't really have something like that. More or less something deep, and it's kind of a story that you really need to keep your eyes peeled on. Like seeing all the messages is it's very symbolic, and I feel like this movie will probably like it will give you like a mind blowing expectations on how this film turned out. I feel like T. West kind of really expected that from this film. They really wanted you to kind of get the good feel of like what the hell is actually going on instead of the whole purpose of this film. Like I feel like whenever someone looked at the trailer, they're like, "Oh my god," kind of gives you like an old school vibe, and it's like a girl that just goes crazy. It's like it's not really like that. It's not really like that at all. She is she is a good girl at heart, but whenever anyone puts her down, she kind of gives up and doesn't really believe in herself and afraid to believe in others. So like whenever someone around her kind of puts her in a reality check saying that like, hey, it's hard and there's no point of you even trying, stay at the farm and just keep doing that for the rest of your fucking life. She doesn't really want to do that for the rest of her life. So like it's always a problem of her trying to fulfill her dreams. And I get it, we should all always fulfill our dreams, but we all have remorse. We all have like dignity and everything like that. She doesn't show all that. she's like a mess. She's all over the place. So, but I would say like you really need to understand and follow up on what Pearl actually does in this movie, because it starts to get weird. And I mean, like, it really gets weird to the point where, like, people don't really understand what the fuck's going on. Like, if your brain is off, dude, don't watch this movie. Like, if you watch a movie just for the pretty colors and just wait until something happens, like you're waiting for a murder to happen, then you're probably gonna say this movie is probably like a 5 or a 4 out of 10. Maybe like the kills were cool, but like, no, this is not no ordinary slasher flick. It gets deep. It really, really does. Let me explain to the plot real quick, so then you guys can get like a good gif of like what the hell's going on. So, it takes place in 1918, and Pearl's a young woman living with her immigrant parents on their like Texas home, like it's like a small home with a barn and stuff like that. While her husband Howard is serving World War I. So now you know for a fact that we're way back. We're way back in the 19th century. So it's during that era. So you'll start to listen to the type of music that airs during that time period and everything, and you get a good feeling of like how certain characters speak and how certain people dress, and they have the full thing. Like they have certain bikes during that era. The cars are on point. Everything, even the cinema, like the movie theater is all from the 1900s. So you get a good idea on what the hell's going on. Pearl's father is paralyzed, completely paralyzed, and her push-around mother, Ruth, is insisted that she helps care for both of them, not just for the father, but for both of them. Whenever she needs to do errands and stuff, Pearl needs to help out her mom around the house, needs to help out with her paralyzed father that's always on a chair, can barely even move a muscle. Most likely the only thing that you see him move is whenever he needs to eat food or drink something, or his eyes. He can barely even fucking speak. He kind of does moans and groans the whole entire movie, but yeah, she needs to bathe him, she needs to feed him, and she also needs to grab errands around the house, and also do errands when she needs to leave and go to the store or whatever. Needs to help our mom throughout this whole entire process of this film. And yeah, her mom is very strict. Even when she does everything, she can't even have a little bit of fun. Apparently there was like this specific scene that she just ends up having a hat on her head, and then when she got home, she already just like said, where did you even get that hat? She's like, oh, I just found it on the way. She's like, oh, don't even wear it. Don't even bring it inside the house. It might have like maggots or whatever. And during this period, there's people that were getting sick and dying in the 1900s. So like obviously there were people that were wearing face masks, and it's kind of weird due to us being in this sort of pandemic of us wearing masks. Even as 2022, a lot of us are not wearing masks anymore. It a majority of the time when you're watching this flick, people started to feel relatable towards the 1900s because everyone was wearing masks even back then. We start to look at this like, hey, look, doesn't this look familiar? And we kind of relate to how it was way back then. Longing for an exciting life and captivated by the film that she sees as a local cinema, and aspires to become a portraying chorus girl. She really wanted to be in the movies. She looked at the scenes and stuff that she kind of wished she was on. She wishes that people can throw roses on her feet and admire her. She wanted to be like the big picture of like the cinema and everything, and she was hooked. She was really, really hooked. She was like, this is what I want to do. I was completely in on it. Like there was nothing else she wanted to do. She didn't want to stay in the barn and running like, you know, like chores all the fucking time and taking care of her father being all paralyzed for the rest of his life, and also taking care of her mother. There's even moments and scenes where she was like, I wish my parents died.
You only get one take at this life.
If only they would just die.
Pardon?
Nothing.
So then I don't have to take care of them and everything. and a lot of people were looking at it like, yo, there is something really wrong with her, because she doesn't think like normal people. She starts to say certain things, and she's just honest on what's going on with the world, but she still wants to be happy. She wants to like take care of her father. She does not mind helping her mother, but like it's like she can't do anything on her own. It's like having, like, if you want to have a dream, going to school, being someone that you always wanted to be, rocking hobbies to the point that you become like professional at it, a sport or whatever. If your parents are like demanding you that you can't do it, like obviously, and you're forced not to, it kind of hurts you, and you don't really know what the hell to do as your life goes on. So for Pearl, it is kind of sad, the fact that she couldn't really make it to the big leagues, knowing the fact that her mom kept kind of pushing her down on it. But yeah, Ruth is the mother of Pearl, and Ruth is played by Tandi Wright, and she played a phenomenal role, an excellent role at that. Knowing the fact that she needed to play as a strict mother, I feel like they kind of made her do tasks and certain things before making the film, practice on it, so then she can get the feeling of, hey, I'm an asshole mother. You need to listen to me and shit. Like, it wasn't no, oh yeah, I'm okay at times and stuff. Like, no, even in the start of the movie, she already sounded like she was gonna be a problem. She sounded like, I'm a tough mom. And it's gonna be impossible for you to even say, like, you know, like, it's gonna be impossible for you to say, like, yes, you can go and perform and stuff. Like, no, her mom. Yeah, a lot of people said she was an asshole in this movie. A lot of people were just like, nah, yo, she's a fucking bitch. I really just wanted to just talk about the flick and just tell you guys like how I truly felt about it. She had like a pet alligator technically, and just fed it like animals, even people. It's crazy, and I feel like this movie took a turn on us. Actually, I don't really want to. I kind of wanted to explain the end, but I feel like you guys should just watch it. Definitely watch it. Go check it out. It will definitely shock you guys. Definitely will. And that, my dear friends, is Pearl. Go give it a shot. Go watch it. I would think you guys will enjoy the movie. Alright guys, that is it for today. Enjoy all the horror movies. Let me know down below what other horror movie would you guys want me to explain, or just have for me to have my own thoughts on the movie. But until then, it's your boy coming at you, and I think I want to kind of spoil a little bit, not the movie, but I kind of want to spoil on what's the next review. Let's just say it's gonna be Smile. Just say that right now. Movie Smile, definitely will watch it. Gonna be watching it in early works on the 27th of September, and I'll definitely make a review on that movie. Can't wait. All right, guys, that was Pearl. See you later.